Welcome back to the Jaws Challenge here at Pe'ahi. We've already seen women's semifinal 1 completed. We have our first 3 finalists in the way of Paige Alms, Justine Dupont, as well as Andrea Moeller. These 5 ladies, 3 of them are going to advance to meet in the finals. As if Sylvia has been taxed.
She totally is.
She missed the rope that time. Now she's going to have to get a hand by our water safety. You can see how exhausted she is. And we see another competitor drop from the sky and go over the falls. Looked like it was Keala Kenley.
Well, she actually got to her feet, so this is going to be a score. I mean, in a situation that we don't have any rides in a heat, they will still advance. So ultimately, if all 3 surfers or 3 surfers don't get a ride, there still will be advancement, and you're advancing by your seating.
Well, it looks like Keala Kenley's on the back of the sled, making her way into the channel. Let's take a look at what happened to her.
Again, the acceleration of that wind, and when you get stuck up in the top like that, that's what happens. You get the air underneath, it lifts your board, and that's one of the biggest challenges of this wave specifically. And then that's, you always want to leave with your head. You want everything pointing down the face. Even when it feels like you're not going to be able to make it, it's actually the safest place to go.
You can't consciously think your way through that situation. Things are unraveling
so
too fast.
Yeah, it is. It's just a matter of trying to relax your mind. It's really what it comes down to.
Emily Eriksson, big drop, a beautiful drop for Emily Eriksson. Nice high line on this wall, and she's going to complete that ride, and that's going to be a score to contend with and likely a ticket into the final for Emily.
That glide into the channel is the best feeling ever. I mean, you don't remember anything happening when you're actually riding the wave because you're so hyper-focused on it. But then when you glide out into the channel, you're like, yeah. You see that style she carries. She's a very stylish surfer, and that felt really good for her. It's going to be a great confidence boost.
It's funny, you mentioned something, Pete, that focus in reaching the channel. And I spoke earlier about hearing the wave from 3 miles away. And I can tell you, not once in any of my rides in all the years I've been out there do I remember hearing the wave while I was riding.
No, you don't.
Yeah, I'm so focused on getting to the channel.
You really don't. I mean, and even a session really becomes a blur until you can kind of, again, look at the positioning. Angle was great. She got down the face. I mean, that was all of the things she did at the very beginning before she even stood up was why she made that wave.
That was textbook for sure.
Well done for Emily Eriksson. We're going to be waiting on that number, but for more insight on the equipment of Emily Eriksson, our in-water reporter, Kale Carranza, caught up with Emily.
Highest seed in the heat that doesn't have 2 scores will get through. So right now, Bianca being the highest, she was the number 2 seed in this heat, and that's from her performances in the past seasons. She would get the nod as that 3rd person in there. But you think about Isabel and Sylvia, this is a great opportunity for them. All they need to do is stand to their feet, and they're going to be able to pass Bianca, and then all of a sudden that seating stuff goes out the window.
Well, just kind of riding the crest right there, but that's going to be good for a number. That was Keala Kenley. So she opened up with just a fractional score of a 0.9. She got to her feet again, and maybe playing the game smart because she's going to have 2 waves in her scoreline.
Yeah, that obviously wasn't, I'm sure, how she envisioned that wave playing out. Can you identify the guys just by the look in the eye or the body language?
You can, yeah, you definitely can. But it also kind of it changed, at least for me, as we see again. Look at this.
Here we go.
Nice.
Bianca Valenti taking off on this one and taking a gas, coming over the bars on a giant wave. We're going to keep an eye out for her. Mountain of whitewater now rolling over her.
Okay, I'm going to speculate that was a fin issue. It looked like her fins cavitated. Need to see a closer replay of it to really confirm that. But it looked like everything was fine, and all of a sudden it wasn't.
Oh boy. Keala Kenley, and she drops from the sky, getting caught up on the top of that wave, and another brutal wipeout for Keala.
Gentlemen, 1 minute now less, and it is all going down.
Well, it has to be in our competitor's mind. They know it's at the end of the clock, and this is when they're really sending it, Pete.
Yeah, and it's definitely, and this is such a risky situation too. In that moment, see that she's dragging her 10-foot surfboard.
Well, we're not going to have to worry about that scenario with the highest seed advancing into into the final because we're waiting on a score for Bianca and we're waiting on a score for this.
I mean, and that's that wind getting caught up. As soon as you turn sideways, it literally is taking all of that surface area of the bottom of the surfboard, and it accelerates the wind just right up and then just lifts her out.
You know, to your point, Pete, looking at the screen, you're like, oh, what a nice, calm day. But that wave is moving, just the wave is moving at about 25 miles an hour, maybe more. Now, to get down it, she has to start going faster than the wave to have a chance, which means just the apparent wind that she is creating by her speed is, I'm going to say, somewhere in the neighborhood of 35 miles per hour. So you put your hand out the car going 35 miles per hour, that feels like something.
Yep.
And when that type of wind is grabbing at your board, it's very hard to control, if at all, right?
Crazy stuff. And we've got, again, decided by wave riding and a good performance by these women. And now they're back out there for a final. We're going to get a champion.
We sure are. That was the conclusion of semifinal number 2. Emily Erikson's going to move to the final. Kiala Kenley's going to move to the final. Bianca Valenti's going to move to the final. And we're going to move back with more action from Jaws right after this break.